I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational.
You can do it!
But that just wouldn't be our style.
Welcome to Project Reclamation, where you rebuild, re-energize, and reclaim your life.
Steven, what is that?
I live in the suburbs, baby.
Wait, ice cream trucks are real?
Yeah.
Since when?
Dude, this ice cream truck
Did
has
we
rolled
ever have
around.
ice cream trucks when we were kids? I don't think we did.
Yeah, it rolled around my neighborhood, not where you live. You
No,
have that
they
big
didn't.
hill. You have that big hill.
I lived way off in the boonies. I lived in the place where, you know what's funny? I think my mom...
Ice cream couldn't make it there.
My mom was walking her... They got this cute little puppy.
Sure.
He's, who knows what he is. He looks like Tramp from Lady and the Tramp.
All right.
His name's Ryman. Super cute. What is Ryman, you ask?
What is Ryman?
Ryman is a famous theater in Nashville, Tennessee. It was the original... The Ryman Theater was the original Grand Ole Opry. So
I love it. It's
my
beautiful,
mom
by the way. If you never
has
go,
been there. It is beautiful. It's beautiful,
Go.
and it's not huge. It's very small. I mean, comparatively to like big theaters, but it was built a shitload of time ago.
That's right.
But it was built in a way that even like without amplification, it has like some of the most amazing acoustics. Period.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Just on the look
If
of it. I don't know
JB
music.
was on this episode, he could probably explain more how that fucking works because I don't know.
We're gonna have a repeat episode of this with JB. Just adding.
We'll just
his
ask
thoughts
him
on
next
it.
time he's on. Yeah. So that she's walking. We live in a canyon. You know, my parents live in a canyon. She's walking him towards the hill to go up, and he didn't want to go up the hill. And she's like, "No, come on."
Neither
and then
did
she
those.
saw something kind of coming towards them, and she's like, "Is that another dog?" And she's like, "No, that's definitely not a dog." And I'm not. And she said the sun was kind of shining like right in her eyes, so she couldn't quite tell what it was, but pretty sure it was either a mountain lion or a bobcat.
Oh, I thought it was a coyote.
No. Different tail. But yeah, there's been I've seen mountain lions in my parents' neighborhood.
All right.
Crazy shit.
It is crazy because you do live kind of like a little bit. Your home, my home was like in the suburbs. Like we had a creek by us, but that was pretty much it. We didn't see no snakes. The only like wildlife that we ever saw were gophers, and they used to just tear apart my yard. And my dad used to just pull out his hair.
Dude, my dad he used to have, not so much anymore, but they used to have like a bunch of vegetables in the vegetable garden on the side.
Oh, go on.
And my dad had an epic, like multi-year battle with gophers, like fucking Caddyshack style battle with these gophers, and they're horrible creatures.
They have this thing now called the Gopher Hawk, and if you don't know what it is, and this is not a shout out to a sponsor, Gopher Hawk. Honestly, this is just like you literally plug it in the ground and it kills gophers. Like I don't know how it does it. I don't know what's the mechanism of action for how it does it, but it does it and does it effectively. And it's pretty nasty too.
Is it like an EMP for gophers?
I don't know what an EMP is, but I will
It's
say
an electromagnetic pulse.
No. Here, we're just going to take a quick look at it. But
So what an EMP does is an EMP shuts down anything that has any sort of electric power source.
Okay.
So like literally, if you had an EMP that was strong enough to say like hit all of San Diego, you would send San Diego back into the fucking Stone Age for a good amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's a little bit of the Gopher Hawk, and we're just going to play this a little bit here on the YouTube machine. But if my dad had this back in the
they're
day-
little tiny people with guns and that are just shooting the gophers.
I wish. Those are like the Keebler elves. Look at that. You can tell the difference between a gopher and a mole. But either which way, this guy is pretty much demonstrating.
So there's no noise. So I'm just gonna. Hi everybody. I'm a redneck. I live out in Kentucky.
Go
No
Cowboys.
offense.
I got
No
my
offense to
Oklahoma State
Kentucky.
hat.
I'm in Oklahoma. See, I grabbed some dirt with my hand and
Look
then I
here,
let
this
it
dirt.
sift through my fingers.
Look here, this Gopher Hawk.
Look here, this gopher hawk.
Look here,
I'm
these
explaining
holes in
it.
my yard.
I got
What
lots
I'm
of
gonna
holes.
do, I'm gonna, and then just for time and just for to fit into our podcast, we're gonna look here. It's like a steel trap. It's like a piston going on your truck. Okay, you go ahead and load that piston up.
Oh, it's like a bang. It's like a bang stick, dude.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a bang stick?
No, I have not.
I watched MacGyver.
But look here, the gopher runs through the hole and Shazamo.
Does it stab it?
Oh, it's gonna set off that sensor and then Shazamo. Okay.
He's gonna stab his carpet right now.
Look here, I'm a little.
Oh,
gopher.
look, I'm a fake stuffed gopher. Oh, look, I set off the sensor.
Jesus. Oh, dang.
Oh, he just got his head squished.
Dang, that gopher hawk really works. Man.
Oh, the stuffed gopher is dead.
Well, that stuffed gopher was
Somebody resuscitate the stuffed gopher.
Hey, look here. I got 2 holes. Which holes want to fill? Okay, now we're just going to advance this on for time and purposes of this podcast. He's clearly put his gopher hawk. He's engaged it. He is. Has it been engaged already? Is he digging it out? I think he killed something. I think this is what we're going to see. This is the big reveal. Take this. Who's our rival?
So you have to dig a gigantic hole just to get the dead gopher out.
Yeah, well, I guess you could just let it rot. Oh.
And now he's going to turn it into chili?
Poor guy. Oh, look at his cheeks. Whoa, look at those cheeks.
It's too bad because they're kind of cute.
They are kind of cute. Boy, he's touching that without gloves.
What is
weird?
This guy's a fucking weirdo.
Oh, man, you could measure it based on... why is he petting it? And then did he just bury it back, or is that cow dung?
No, he buried the gopher. Is that like respect for the gopher?
Well, amen. I guess it's good for the soil if you really think about it. And it probably would.
So why did he dig it out if he did? He dug like a 4 foot by 4 foot hole.
And look, here's a little bit of there's no CSI magic here. It looks like he just replaced it with a fresh piece of sod. Man, we want to give it up to Mousetrap Monday. Wow, this guy's name is Mousetrap Monday. Oh Lord. He's trying to steal our Motivation Mondays.
I know, what the fuck?
Look, he's basically, I think he's serrating it. Now he's installing
He's
it.
aerating his lawn.
Aerating his lawn. Boy, I'm going to tell you, if you have this much land, that's your fault, okay? You should have, wow, he really has to dig up his whole lawn to just take one of these stupid little gophers out. Oh, why couldn't he just pull it up?
I feel like there's better ways to do this.
The thing's already dead. I don't know why he couldn't just pull it up out of the hole. Anyways. This is what we're talking about here on Project Reclamation. We're actually giving a live play-by-play shout-out to Gopher Hawk. Gopher Hawk, the finest in gopher and mole technologies. Oh, man, look at that. That looks definitely like a mole. Wow. I would wear gloves if I were him.
He doesn't care, dude.
He doesn't care, but he will care once he gets the bubonic plague. Bubonic plague making a comeback in Denver, Colorado.
This episode has not been brought to you by Gopher Hawk or Mousetrap Mondays, just for legal reasons. But... we have been brought to you by Podbelly Podcast Network. Go pig out on podcasts.
Pigging out on podcasts.
But don't use a gopher hawk to kill a podbelly or a pig.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
You can't legally do it.
You can't kill a pig with a...
Don't even put your hand in a gopher hawk. Just for safety purposes, don't even put your hand in a gopher hawk. Inside the little gopher hawk.
But go watch the gopher hawk thing on YouTube.
It's worth its while.
We've never used one, so we're not saying you should use it, but maybe you should watch the video. I don't know.
Project Reclamation, if you're listening to our Wednesday
or just go watch Caddyshack.
You could have done better. Brought to you by Project Reclamation. This is all you got for right now. Go ahead and try and switch us while you're driving. Go ahead and try. Not safe. Not cool. Just keep on listening. Your ride's not that long. Project Reclamation's new slogan.
So,
what we got, man? I'm telling you, you know what it is?
Dude, you know what?
Huh. We have been
like that guy with all those gophers in his yard is just unlucky.
What do you mean?
Just unlucky, man.
You know who's unlucky is Andrew Luck. Boy, I'm telling you. That
whatever happened to that guy?
Well, he got drafted by the Colts. That's what made him so unlucky, because his career really took a nosedive. And at the age of 29, he retired because he was so gosh darn injured and forgot to love the game. Okay? He just lost a lot of love for the game.
Did he ever have any blocking or something?
Offensive line was terrible. But yeah. I'm just trying to think, honestly. What do they always say about luck, then? Luck is
when preparation meets opportunity.
Oh, I was going to say luck is like a fickle beast or something like that.
Luck is a fickle mistress?
Fickle mistress, that's what I was going to say. Holy smokes, brother. I got to be honest with you.
Luck's a bitch.
Luck's a bitch. I've heard that one before. That's an old Chinese saying.
Or if I had a better English accent and this was like a Game of Thrones episode, luck's a cunt.
All right.
Well, because you and I can't say cunt and get away with it, but if you're British and you're on Game of Thrones, apparently it can be every other word can be cunt, and then it's
so
cool.
funny the way you said it, because I was like, I honestly
Lux
thought you
cunt.
said, I always said Lux, like I thought you said Lux a coin or something like that.
Nah, Lux a cunt. Lux a cunt, mate.
It's the worst.
That's like Australia. It's a bad accent. I don't know.
You know what? It's not your best.
Scottish Australian.
Project Reclamation. It's not your best. It's not your best.
It could be worse.
Could be worse. Man, I'm telling you, that's what we want to talk about this week, Judy, man. Luck. Lady Luck. Sir Luck. It doesn't matter what gender you put in front of it.
Luck be a lady, tonight.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know the rest of the words.
Because honestly, people have this obsession with luck. Like sometimes, if I could only get lucky, or if I'm just going to get lucky. I feel lucky today.
Getting lucky. Like, if I'm going to get laid tonight, I'm getting lucky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that, but
maybe
like when they're on the tables
maybe
or something like
if you are a shitty human being, then maybe you do have to get lucky to get laid.
I guess. You know
you know what? You find a nice woman and you treat her with respect, or a nice man, treat him with respect. Yeah, beginner's luck. What's that all about?
Beginner's luck. Sometimes I feel like people say this, right? You said it best. Luck is actually not just this random happenstance of choice or chance that happens to fall in your lap and blesses you with either praise or success. That's not what it is. Luck is when preparation, all the years in which you've done something good, done something amazing, or done something just in general, meets opportunity. Boy, it's going to give you that opportunity to kind of show or display that knowledge of information which you've gained over that year or those years or those moments of understanding or those moments of educational attainment. But when people say beginner's luck, sometimes I don't even think that. I sometimes think, boy, beginner's luck, when you hit a home run, I'm like, no, they were strong enough to hit that home run. Maybe they were working out, doing something else.
I feel like beginner's luck is like, it's like the angry veteran that's mad that like the newbie just hit a home run or something. Beginner's luck.
Or when someone has a hot hand on the cards, I feel like, well, they probably stepped at the table at the right time. But that's like that moment of opportunity, right?
Or making certain bets are either based on strategy or they're based on confidence or best guess. Yeah, somewhere along those lines.
Like educated guess. Yeah.
So sure, when you're doing well, you're going to be more confident. So you're not going to second guess yourself. So as long as your instincts are good or your knowledge is good, then there's so many different reasons why these things may happen. But I don't necessarily believe in luck.
I don't believe in blind luck or something. Just
I believe in opportunities.
Opportunities.
But you have to be, like you said. Yeah, that guy might have that rookie may have gotten that pitch and hit that home run. But like you said, he had to be strong enough to hit that home run. He had to swing at that. He had to have the confidence to swing at that pitch.
Exactly. Now, we're not saying this. If you're listening to this podcast, you're going to be like, boy, I'm telling you, you guys are being awfully negative, okay?
No.
You guys are ruining my day. I feel like an awfully lucky person. My life has been blessed. We're not definitely trying to take away from that. What we're telling you guys is whoever's listening to this is that, hey, you might feel that way because your mindset, your mentality is so strong, right? You believe that you're in everything that you do, everything that you touch is like you get the Midas touch. Everything that you walk into, every opportunity that you have is a golden opportunity. That's what we think is happening.
Well, and if that's how you feel, then I think that has to do a lot. Yeah, people. Stay that way.
Yeah.
But don't believe in luck to the point where you're like, oh, I can't get in. Luck's just not on my side today.
Lady luck's not on my side. Boy,
no, because that's just bullshit. Because
that's an issue of mentality.
I feel like either way, there's a lot of self-fulfilling prophecy going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, if you're unfamiliar with self-fulfilling prophecy, here's what it is. If you think about something to the extinction of it, meaning that you think about it so much, well, I'm going to fail this test. I'm going to fail this test. I'm going to fail this test. And guess what? You failed that test? Well, see, I told me I was going to fail that test. But in that meantime, instead of thinking about it, dwelling on it, and not performing well, could you have thought, maybe I should study more. Maybe I should put more time and effort and energy into reading or putting my head towards the books. That's what we're really, really trying to focus on. If you're thinking all positives and your whole game plan is all positives, boy, I'm telling you, you can really, really kind of turn it around. And Lady Luck is always going to be on your side
when you're preparing,
your mentality.
When you're preparing, be strategic, Maybe if we're talking about that test, you don't necessarily need to, it would probably behoove you to know all of the subject matter as well as you possibly can. But think about who's writing the test, who's the teacher, what have we really gone over? You can narrow down what's most likely going to be on that test. Or, if you're studying for some sort of licensing exam, such as Steve is, you can narrow down, you could do a little bit, if it's a licensing exam, it's something that is mass produced. So you could do a little bit of research, probably figure out what's on that test, and you can help work smarter when it comes to being prepared for any opportunities that are going to come your way.
You can kick all corners of the rug up to try and find that key. You can kick the tires and make sure it's a good thing. That's what we're asking you to do.
Find that trap door and then open it and then realize that there's a safe in there, but the safe is really some sort of weird dungeon.
Aha!
And there's maybe people in there, and where am I? I've been watching too many horror movies. Happy October, y'all.
Woo, man. I'm telling you, one of the biggest things is that sometimes people are so reliant on, I'm unlucky, or nothing's working out, or something's not happening, or something's not good.
Wham!
You know what I would say is that it has nothing to do with luck. More than anything, that has to deal with you, the lack of preparation, or the dissonance of preparation. Because you definitely have the opportunity. If you're thinking about something, it's the opportunity of it. It's definitely present. It's definitely available. And so when we tell you this at Project Reclamation, we are certainly happy to kind of, I don't know, hear things out and listen to things fully. Absolutely. But, honestly, it's honestly, when you take a look at if you don't feel lucky, that's you. You just have to change that around. But, my whole life has just been of bad fortune. I don't think so. I think that you can easily kind of say, everything's been bad, everything's been poor. But if you really, really look at it, you're still alive. You still keep on creating opportunities for you. The fact that is that you wake up and there's sunlight every single day on your face.
Well, also think about it. Like, where do a lot of opportunities come from? Some of them just come out of the freaking woodwork, but a lot of them come from other people.
Yeah.
So people are going to want to give opportunities and give help to people who are positive and make them feel good, or make them, if I'm looking for someone to hire for a job or a project or something, I don't want to hire some negative person. Like, I want to hire the positive person who's like, seems like a go-getter.
That's right.
So just having that attitude of, hey, I'm lucky, or being positive, period, everything rolls back into something else. But, that's going to help you get more opportunities based on, the fact that you're just putting good shit out into it sounds so stupid to say put good shit out into the universe and good shit comes back. But a lot of that is logically makes sense, because what I'm saying is there's a little bit of the universe stuff, but a lot of it is just putting good shit out to other people. And then you're going to be the one they think of when they're like, hey, you know what, that guy, I'm going to think of him because he made me feel good. Or, he seems like a real go-getter. I'm going to go hire him for this project. Or, I heard a friend has a job opportunity for him, and you know what? He's on top of shit. I'm going to hire this guy. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Can I just say this? And definitely, we're not saying that you can't have your bad times. Boy, I felt like I've been on the rockiest of roads, and I'm like, oh crap. And I have felt unlucky.
Is that where the ice cream comes from?
That's exactly where the ice cream comes from. Boy, boy.
Because when you're on a rocky road, you need to eat some ice cream to make yourself feel
Absolutely.
better. So you go buy some rocky road ice
that
cream.
Could definitely change things around real quick. Or sometimes people carry a horseshoe around and they go, oh, this is it. Or my lucky rabbit's foot. You can have all sorts of trinkets and scrippets and scrappets and everything that you want.
Close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and Project Reclamation.
Bam! Close enough. Project Reclamation. We're getting there. But my biggest thing...
By the way, I don't know if we explained it on this episode, but we are looking for a slogan. So email us your slogans or leave us a message on our website.
Yeah. I would say this, is that if you do feel unlucky, or you do feel like you've hit hard times and all the hard times are just kind of keep on compiling, and time again you feel like unlucky, I understand that you can have that feeling for sure. But I'm not asking you to give up on that. I'm not asking you to not feel hurt or disdain from the ways of life that have kind of struck you. What I am saying is this, is that it's not a matter of there's no magical source out there that's going to fix things and make things better. There's no magic wand. There's no secret to success. Sometimes there's no secret to hard work either. People don't get abs just by doing one sit-up, and people don't get successful financially just by saving $1 at a time here. They kind of strategically plan on how to do this, and they put in the work, into making things happen for themselves.
And when those people have a bad run, they don't just accept that and give up. They look that bad run in the face. They say, fuck you, bad run. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to change this. And then they put the work in accordingly.
Damn. And I will say this, too. I have dealt with many athletes who have injured themselves before. And one of the biggest things is that, let's say that, you want to get big legs or you want to get faster or something like that, but they pull a muscle in their legs. They don't stop working out. They don't throw in the towel, and they don't stop kind of training their mindset either. They have a different mindset where they go, well, I'm going to beat this, I'm going to overcome this, and I'm going to start working on my upper body. I'm going to start doing more core work while I'm waiting for my other lower half to heal, or vice versa, etc. And so that's it. You can obviously put in some time in something else. Boy, if you're having bad luck, okay, quote unquote, with relationships, well, then what should you do? Maybe build on that relationship with yourself, or maybe build on your financial relationship, build on that relationship with your finances, or build on that relationship with your education. Keep on growing as a person. Don't stop just because you're having a bad luck. No, I'm having bad luck with everything.
Well, and the same thing again. You're going to put those vibes out to other people.
Sure.
And you're not going to attract the person that you want. And Steve and I have probably both been guilty of that. And it's happened. And we probably, bad taste in women.
Bad taste in best friends since high school.
I know. I still have bad taste in best friends. But it's interesting. But you're, on that whole topic of the injury thing. I mean, Ray Lewis, his last season, he got an injury that no one's ever come back from in the NFL.
and he was able to just kind of work
He
on
not
it.
only came back, but he called his shot like Babe frickin' Ruth, came back and won the Super Bowl.
His mentality was different.
Because his mentality was different. Look at David Goggins. He is on a hot streak right now. But he every day he does like the opposite. He makes his days suck just so he can remember what it's like for things to suck, just so that he can always maintain that mentality of working hard and trying to pull himself up by the bootstraps when things are tough. He has never once rested on his laurels. If you want to know the meaning of that, go look it up or listen to a few episodes ago. Steve and I, we cracked that code. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, luck. Well, the reason why it was so important for me to talk about this is that sometimes I hear a lot of people talk about, well, I'm having a bad go. I just have bad luck around me, or there's always been bad luck whenever they get diagnosed with a bad kind of sign or symptoms. And I go, well, I don't necessarily know if it's bad luck, or maybe it might be the 60 years of bad living, meaning that you smoked cigarettes, you had a bad, you've been eating poorly, you've been, not working out, you've been not taking care of your body. It's really, really hard for me to kind of fix that. It has nothing to do with luck. It all had to do with maybe choices, right? And so that's what it is. If we're asking you to open up your mind. A Project Reclamation is inviting you to think about choices. Now, there's some choices that you never had, right?
But even then, it's not over.
It's never over.
I mean, unless it's like, well, there's like one or two cancers I can think of that you're kind of fucked. But other than that, it's never over.
There are some genetic choices that were already predestined.
True.
Preordained for you to experience. There are already some socioeconomic choices that you might have grown up in the poor places of whatever, never been to college. No one ever in your whole family's been to college. No one ever in your whole family's had a long-term stable job or a career,
But even if it's been 20 years of your own choices, that still doesn't mean it's over. You can still turn things around. You could still beat a lot of cancers. You could still beat a lot of bad situations. What I'm saying is, at some point, even if you have made a lot of bad decisions, you still don't need to give up then. There's no point.
Give up.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah. So when you listen to Project Reclamation, all we're doing is inviting you to think about something. You can really, really think about Lady Luck and how she can bless you just by the anointing of her finger and just dip you as a millionaire or 1,000-daire or 100,000-daire or 100 millionaire. It doesn't matter. Or bless you in relationships. Oh, I'm going to wait around until I get blessed with this. Or if you can think about luck as preparation meeting opportunity, boy, prepare yourself. Get yourself stronger. If something hasn't hit you, if financial success hasn't hit you, think about maybe coming up with a plan. If it did, what would you start doing with that financial success? If it's success in a relationship or success in a career hit you, what would you do with that? What would you do with those versions of success to you?
Well, if you think about it, it's like when preparation meets opportunity. It sounds like only one of those things is controllable, but that's not true. Preparation is obviously the controllable element, but so is opportunity, because if you're not putting yourself in the in the crosshairs, or I was going to say, like, if you're not crossing the freeway of opportunity,
that's right.
If you're just sitting at home waiting for that opportunity to come, it's not going to happen. If we're talking about relationships, like, maybe the bar or Tinder is not the right place to meet, a quality mate, but there are a lot of, if you're not putting yourself in social situations, then you're going to be a lot less likely to catch that opportunity. That's right. If you're looking for if you need or want a new job, but you're not actively looking for that opportunity, then you're not going to put yourself in front of all of the opportunities that may be out there. So I think it sounds like only one of those elements is controllable, but that's not true. Both of them are completely controllable. You are in control of how prepared you are for these opportunities, and you are also in control of how much in the crosshairs or the traffic pattern or the airways of whatever, putting yourself in a place where you can actually take advantage of the opportunities that are out there for you. Those are both within your power to control.
Bam. I will tell you that I always think about sports, and I always think about these great athletes sometimes, and I go, okay, well, you're a great athlete. Oh, there's some universal great athletes. People always go, oh, universally great. But I think the reason why they're so revered as great, you can be a really, really great basketball player, football player, whatever kind of CrossFit, whatever legend you want to be. But if you kind of stay hidden, that's your choice, right? Maybe you don't want all the things that kind of go along with fame or, opportunity, all the acknowledgement, et cetera. And that's fine. That's well within your reach. But you got to stop. If you think you're that great, you got to stop complaining. You got to put pen to paper or rubber to road, and you got to start putting yourself in the crosshairs of chance here a little bit, meaning not like as a luck thing, But chances, as in like, oh, well, this is showing up, and honestly, there's a open tryout, or there's a audition read, or there's a job application that I should fill out, and you won't do that unless you actually go put the effort forth, because your talent is there because you've been working on it, and you trust yourself, and you have gained that kind of confidence within yourself, and it has nothing to do with like just lady luck or just some random happenstance. That's because you put in the time, you put in the effort, you put in the energy. So make that energy, effort, and time worth something. Make it valuable if that's what you really, really want. But if you don't want that and you are happy with when things are, then you can't complain about not being unlucky, or you can't complain about having no kind of positive fortune on your side. It's always on your side. It just depends on how much you want to put out.
You can complain, but then at some point late at night by yourself, laying in bed or in the bathroom staring at the mirror, you have to understand that you're enjoying being miserable, or you're using that as a crutch because you're maybe afraid of some sort of success. And that's a whole other episode that we can go into. And I think it is a real thing. It's not a bad thing. But yeah, if you're not giving yourself the opportunity to enjoy these opportunities that may be out there for you and to be prepared for said opportunities, then yeah, you're not unlucky. You're just unwilling to. And maybe it's a fear of success. Maybe it's a fear of failure. I don't know what it is. And we're not psychiatrists, but we're here to get through that with you. So if you have something to talk about on that, then yeah. But ultimately, yeah, you're in control. And, sometimes things are going to be rough. But I was saying, look at someone like David Goggins. Like, even when things aren't rough, he makes them rough just to remind himself what that's like. And that's insane, but I love it.
You know what's crazy for me, Tim, and this is just a personal note. Boy, when I was a teenager, we lived in a very, very kind of affluent part of the country or the world, needless to say. And I think, or not even affluent, because we didn't live affluently. We just lived in a nicer spot, right? Sometimes people have a lot of social...
We were sturdy middle class.
Sturdy middle class, to say the very, very best of it would be to say sturdy
middle class.
No, I mean,
we were sturdy middle class at a... probably a cost of living that could have definitely gotten us a shitload more anywhere else in the country besides like the heart of San Francisco or the heart of New York City. But yeah, what we had was very sturdy middle class.
Oh, for sure. And I always thought, hey, I'm a funny guy because our town was full of what? Our town had like 80,000 people. Okay, it wasn't big at all things considered. And then you go, oh, I'm a funny guy. I'm going to be recognized. I'm going to be realized. Someone's going to acknowledge me. Someone's going to see me one day. Boy, that's it. And then obviously my teens passed by, my 20s passed by. Well, why have I not been discovered? Why have I not been realized for my sweet talent of making humorous jokes, etc.?
Because you've never been to an open mic.
Well, that's my point, though, right? Is that, I never thought, I was unlucky. I just thought I was lazy with how I went about it.
Well,
right?
And that's the truth.
And you didn't work on it. I certainly didn't work on it in the sense where I was like, if you really, really wanted to work on being funny, and I'm talking about not universally funny, everyone can be funny in their own right? As long as you make yourself laugh,
like funny enough to do some jokes in front of people.
To do jokes, right? But if I was even afraid to even go up to the mic, or let alone even put pen to paper and start writing down some jokes and start using this as a real practice, boy, then it didn't matter, because even if the opportunity came to me when I was living in LA and I had opportunities when I was in television, boy, I didn't have any of the preparation for it, right? It's sometimes, you know what, if you happen to be that one person that you say, oh man, that's Jim Smith, that's Jane Doe. Boy, she's so lucky. She was so funny, and she was just discovered by like just walking down the street, and a model scout stopped them and said, hey, and then they happen to be comical, and then they just happen to, I bet you anything, that their story actually goes a lot deeper than that meaning.
Well, and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, look at lottery winners. Some of them get lucky. Now, they still had to buy the ticket.
Yeah, they still had to buy the ticket. That's one.
But you look at the people who win who are totally unprepared to be that rich, and almost always it becomes more of a curse than a blessing, and they end up worse off. They end up as broke or more broke than before they won. Plus, they end up feeling fucking used by all their friends and family who took advantage of them. So now they have nothing left.
Nothing.
They've fucking, all their relationships are ruined, and they have less money than they had before they won the lottery. So true luck that doesn't come with any preparation.
Like, I'm unlucky right now breathing in your burps, and you just let... Like, I'm unlucky because we are trapped in a little telephone booth. Boy, who decided to record here?
I don't know. Why are we in a telephone booth?
I don't know, see?
This is like the only telephone booth in San Diego.
Just in case I get my call, see? Just in case I get my luck call that someone discovered me, see?
Oh, I was going to change into my spandex.
Oh, like Superman, see?
Exactly.
No, I mean, golly, one of the things I always say is that people downplay their successes a lot more sometimes when they're initially coming up because they want to make it seem as though either they had come up from so much or they had just kind of been blind struck by this huge opportunity. And I'm saying to myself, well, I don't know. It never is that simple. It's never that simple.
I mean, occasionally something really cool does happen. But again, that person, like, I'm thinking like Bert Kreischer, you know, when he was very, very, very early. Now, he put in a lot of work before that, but when he was very early into his career, he got noticed by, I think, Will Smith, and Will Smith gave him like a development deal.
Ooh.
And most people don't get development deals like right off the bat, but he did. But, you know, he ran with it and he made it work for him, and he was prepared to put in the work. That's right. To make that opportunity and take it to the fullest. So, yeah, these things do happen. But again, he had to be there to do that open mic and, you know, to possibly bomb, but to get noticed by somebody like Will Smith, you know, he had to put in the work and the writing and all that. And not only that, but, you know, leading up to that, this is a guy who had to overcome dyslexia and still like write jokes and shit, you know, when he could, you know, had trouble like reading like as easily as someone like Steve and I do. So again, yeah, I mean, sometimes really cool things happen, but you still have to be prepared to make the most of that really cool thing.
That's right.
And then sometimes it's just a grind.
Sometimes it is grind.
Yeah.
But never think that your opportunities are not learning capabilities or possibilities for learning that might develop into some kind of chance issue or section later on in your life. It's so impressive. It's so important. Well, that's all I got for Sweet Luck. Sweet Lady Luck.
It's just you get out what you put in, man. So back to the whole practice positivity. Think you're lucky if that helps you. Or just take luck out of the equation and just be prepared. Put yourself in front of as many opportunities as possible and show gratitude to people around you, because that's where the opportunities are going to come from. And, just be the best you and be a little bit better every day. That's all we're trying to do here at Project Reclamation. So this is what we're going to leave you with. This is Tim and Steve signing off. Good luck. So cheesy. Anyways, this episode has been brought to you by Project Reclamation at projectreclamationpodcast.com, as well as Podbelly Podcast Network. Go pig out on podcasts at podbelly.com. And that's all we got for today. So y'all have a good one. Be good, and we will talk to you soon.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.